The fatal mistake of Chinese education. There is a popular joke among parents recently. If you study a drop of water, you will be tested on the Pacific Ocean. If you are studying a grain of sand, you will be tested on the Sahara. Our children work overtime and study hard all day long, 996 or 711, but they cannot take the exam. However, their grades are not as good as those of their classmates in Finland. What's the problem? In Finland, in order for children to learn a tree, they first let them see the Amazon rainforest. This is similar to a Western story about three masons. One day a news reporter was interviewing three masons. First he asked the apprentice, "What are you doing?" The apprentice said, "I'm laying a brick." Then the reporter asked the master again, "What are you doing?" The master said, "We are building a wall." Finally, the reporter asked the designer the same question, and the designer said, "We are building a magnificent church." Recently, at Zhengzhou University, students used practical actions to write their bachelor's thesis, called "Let's Take a Youthful Trip at the Drop of a Hat." As a result, the professor's comment was, "A bunch of scumbags, an excrement-making machine." Why is this? What's the problem? Are students stupid, or is there something wrong with education? Confucius said, "Food and sex are the same as sex." Without spiritual guidance, students naturally have to follow their own physical desires. If our teachers can describe such a grand blueprint to students, it is a community with a shared future for mankind. Tell them that the way to realize this ideal is through the kingly way of the East, not the tyranny of the West. Specifically, it is to use practical actions and life to reflect the superiority of socialism in our country rather than just relying on slogans. Because we have labor laws and trade unions to supervise enterprises, illegal overtime is not allowed. Without competition or involution, using physical stores to defeat e-commerce can still make a profit. At this point, you may say that you are talking nonsense. However, in real life, there is such a fool who is trying hard to practice Marxism. His name is Yu Donglai. In addition to not allowing overtime, unhappiness leave has also been added. No involution, no competition, fire the drugstore manager who made millions. Because the purpose of opening a pharmacy is to save people, not to make a profit. The original plan was to make a profit of 70 million, but it turned out to be a profit of 140 million. That's why Lao Tzu said, "The sage comes first after his body and exists outside his body." It's not because he is selfless, therefore he can achieve his selfishness. Chinese-style education needs a profound reflection and reform. We must abandon outdated educational concepts and pay attention to the all-round development of students. Only in this way can we cultivate talents who truly meet the needs of future society. Education is not only for today's exams, but also for tomorrow's life. Let us work together to create a better educational environment for children. In the era of artificial intelligence, it is no longer possible for us to defeat AI just by answering test questions. As humans, our advantage over machines is that we have ideals. If we tell students such a story in class, do you think they will ride to Xuchang?